Announcer Jerry Hiff in the ring with Jose Napoles, the defending welterweight champion of the world, and Clyde Gray of Canada, the challenger. And now a new ring announcer entering the ring, Muhammad Ali. This fight, of course, part of a whole new series to be run in Canada called Muhammad Ali Presents. Ali showing no marks from his recent fight against Kenny Norton, which you also saw just last Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports. Getting a big hand from the crowd. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to Muhammad Ali Presents, which is a series of boxing matches which will be held here in Maple Leaf Garden once a month for the next 10 months. So I welcome you here. We look for clean sportsmanship once a month, the top-notch fighters, and we hope and pray that nobody is actually seriously hurt. I would like to say that on my left, the number 2 ranked welterweight of the world, the Commonwealth welterweight champion, the Canadian welterweight champion, weighing 145 pounds, Clyde Gray. And on my right, from Mexico City, Mexico, weighing 147 pounds. Mr. the welterweight champion of the whole wide world.
Introduced by the new ring announcer at Maple Leaf Gardens, Muhammad Ali. A whole new role for the former heavyweight champion. Napoles has had 77 fights, 71 wins, 52 by knockout. First won the title on April 18th, 1969. We're going to ring the bell, and I'm going to rap with Docel, a new poem by Ali. As he comes down to sit next to me, and of course, during the course of the fight, we'll be talking with him. You see him sitting down now.
The 8 count is mandatory. The 3 knockdown rule is waived. Watch out for your fouls, butting, low punches, because I'll take points away from you on that. Also, the seconds. Who's the chief second for Mr. Napoles? Mr. Dundee. Chief second for Mr. Gray, Mr. Ungerman. I will refer to you two
Angie Dundee and Ferdy Pacheco, Ali's 2 men, will be working in Napoles' corner. Napoles' manager is Kuko Kundi. In Gray's corner, Irving Ungerman, the man who for so many years managed George Chuvalo. There'll be no saving by the bell in this fight. They score in a 5-point must system. The referee is Jay Edson, who recently refereed the Foreman-Roman fight, if you could call it that, in Tokyo. The judges, Jose Guerra of Mexico, Tony Canzano of Toronto. The bout begins. Gray in the red trunks, Napoles in the white. Napoles, watch him closely, likes to fight in ring center. He's wily. He knows how to use the ring. His potential problem, age, 33. Been around a long time, been a great fighter. Has every punch in his arsenal. The jab, the hook, the uppercut, a crushing right cross. Can knock a man out with either hand. Gray, younger by 7 years. Also a clever fighter. His best weapon, the left. That's Clyde Gray, the Commonwealth Open Canadian champion in the red trunks, Jose Napoles, the world welterweight champion in the white trunks. We're coming to you live from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, Canada. One other thing about Napoles, Dundee was telling me today that for some reason, Jose has the idea that he's not quite ready, that he needed another week of training. Dundee says that's utterly untrue, but Napoles is plagued with the notion. And we've got a whole new wrinkle for you in this bout. The scoring by round, the official scoring of the referee and the two judges will be posted on electric light scoreboards here in the arena between rounds, so we'll be able to keep you abreast of the official scoring as the fight progresses. We have a minute to go in round one. The action sparse thus far. The crowd is somewhere in the neighborhood of 6,500 or 7,000 people. "30 seconds left to go in round one, and the countdown proceeds. Very little action in this round. Now you see the countdown in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. We come to the end of round one. You hear the bell for round two, and Napoles in the white trunks comes out quickly, as does Clyde Gray in the red trunks. We have just looked at the official scoring, which is on a 5-point must basis as they posted it, and Napoles got 15 points in the first round. Gray got 14. One of the officials, Judge Canzano, gave Napoles 5 points, whereas Gray got only 4 from Mr. Canzano. Referee Jay Edson is refereeing his 14th title fight. He got into a little hassle over an alleged foul blow by George Foreman against Joe King Roman in Tokyo, but that thing died quickly. As a matter of fact, the whole fight died quickly. We're already a minute into round two. And so far, there's been no effective punching by either fighter. Very, very cautious Napoles seems to be. Napoles trying to use his left to set up Gray.
In the cut.
A minute and 45 seconds into round two. Again, you see the countdown on the round. As the crowd gets excited over every Clyde Gray punch thrown. There you saw a quick inside flurry, but again, Clyde is getting the left in occasionally, but not in proportion to the response of the crowd. Approaching the end of round two, we've had some reasonably good inside action there. The bell for round 3, and again identifying the fighters. Defending welterweight champion Jose Napoles in the white trunks, Clyde Gray, the Commonwealth and Canadian welterweight champion, in the red trunks. Stations to the fact that if possible we are going to try to let our stations down the line identify themselves. The action is quickening here. Napoles in the corner, Gray on him, and according to the posting of the second round, that round went unanimously to the challenger, Clyde Gray. The official scoring being posted here between rounds. New wrinkle, one being fought for a long time by a lot of people connected with boxing. I mentioned that Napoles first won the title on April 18th, 1969, when he KO'd Curtis Coates in the 13th. On December 3rd, 1970, lost to Billy Backus because of a cut. Lost in 4 rounds, but got back at Backus on June 4th, 71, knocked him out in 4. And there you see Napoles opening up for perhaps the first time in the fight. He was not, I don't think, knocked out of the ring. He was pushed out. That is correct. By the way, up here in Toronto, if a fighter gets knocked out of the ring, he gets a count of 18 to get back in. Reminding us of 1923 at the old Polo Grounds when Jack Dempsey was knocked out of the ring by Luis Firpo, the wild bull of the Pampas. And it was the press, in Dempsey's own words, who saved him and pushed him back in. Less than 30 seconds to go in the round. And there's been some good action in this one. Napoles beginning to open up. All right, we'll return with more of ABC's Wide World of Sports right after this message from our local stations. Round 4, and that's Clyde Gray in the red trunks, Jose Napoles in the white. The first round, no action. The second round, some movement by Gray, some punches by Gray. The third round, the beginning, apparently, of an attack by Jose Napoles. Scoring did go in favor of Napoles in the third round. I will say, as I mentioned in the first round, that much of the time is spent by Napoles in ring center. Now you see him, the aggressor, trying to land there with a combination. One of the 2 blows picked off by Gray's gloves, the other getting through. If we can get a closer shot of Gray. He apparently has a bloody nose. We have a minute to go in round 4. Yes, he does have blood coming out of the nose. Ray, of course, in the red trunks, Napoles in the white. And in the past 2 rounds, Napoles has become the aggressor in the fight. Good right landed there, as you saw it, by Napoles. At the end of this round, hopefully we'll follow Clyde Gray to his corner and get a closer look at that nose. Men have fought through fights with broken noses. Witness Jimmy Ellis against Floyd Patterson in September in Stockholm, 1968. We approach the end of round 4. The end of round 4, and let's take a look at Clyde Gray, Commonwealth and Canadian welterweight champion. Mouthpiece comes out. They go to work on him. And yes, a stoppage of the flow of blood in the nose. It's the left nostril primarily. Occasioned by a Napoles left. And while we're looking at the fighters in their respective corners, let's get a view from Muhammad Ali, your view of the fight so far.
Well, I would say this is going in favor of the champion because of the power he's punching with, and his punches are more dominating, but I think the experience is going to tell in the end, and Clyde Gray is going to weaken. He seems to be weakening now.
Okay, some words from Muhammad Ali as we await the start of round 5. And they just moved the scoring here in the arena because one man, the referee, scored that last round even. The other 2 scored it for Jose Napoles. Back is cut to Gray there with a left. 5th round action. Gray in the red trunks, Napoles the white. World Welterweight Championship at stake. Napoles being seen for the first time on ABC's Wide World of Sports. A much-discussed fighter through the years, called a picture fighter. Nickname is Mantequilla. That means butter in Spanish because he's so slippery. So smooth. Blood is coming out of Gray's nose again. It's that left nostril. We're a minute into round 5. Napoles may have felt he was a week too short in his training, but the ring cunning developed through all of the years, inevitably manifesting itself. Using the ring shrewdly, using his left efficiently. We're a minute 45 seconds into round 5. This Monday night will be coming to you from Dallas, Texas, or technically Irving, where the Cowboys' great new stadium is as the Cowboys go against the New Orleans Saints. Andy Dunn goes back home. "50 seconds left in the round. As Gray fires punches but doesn't connect, and that right got him. Down went Gray. That's ring experience. Gray was spending himself wildly and not connecting. The mandatory 8 count takes place. Clean knockdown, and the fighters go back to it. Napoles is pretty to watch. Coming up to the end of the round, just a couple of seconds. It's the end of round 5. We have the first knockdown in the round in the fight. And let's take a look at that again in slow motion. Now you see Gray hidden behind the body of Napoles. The wild swing and the miss. The left. Now that left misses by Napoles. Now you see Gray hidden behind the body of Napoles. The wild swing and the miss. The left. Now that left misses by Napoles. There's the right. The left started it, and then the right came through and sent him to the floor. Gray seems in no apparent trouble other than the nosebleed. Herb Ungerman, his manager, is right there in the corner. And I like Irving. He's a peppery, colorful fellow. But watching him through all of the years with George Chuvalo, I often had the feeling that Chuvalo would fight as long as Irving could stand. So the ministrations are all but concluded. That's Napoles, poised, not breathing overly hard. The bell for round 6. And overwhelmingly, that round was officially scored in favor of Napoles. Now let's see how quickly Napoles goes after him, or if he'll use his ring cunning and seek to lead Gray into a spot where he can put him away. The crowd roaring for its national champion, Gray. Go, Clyde, go. Reminiscent of so many of the ballparks in the country, and perhaps most notably Shea Stadium, where now in particular they are yelling, "Go Mets, go," and "Let's go Mets." Notice how effortless Napoles' movements are, how classic his style is. We're a little over a minute into round 6. He'll do it his way if he can. Always that action is somewhere around ring center when you're fighting Jose Napoles. Takes advantage of the ring in every direction in that way. Gray trying to stay away, and yet occasionally get in there, leading with the left. Clyde Gray, 26 years of age. These two fighters had two common opponents, by the way, Eddie Perkins and Manuel Gonzalez. And Perkins decisioned Clyde Gray. Of course, Napoles beat him. Both knocked out Gonzalez in the 6th round. 45 seconds as you read it, and the countdown in your lower right-hand corner in round 6. To Gray there. You saw that left snap Gray's head back. The round is running out, but he got to Gray there. All right, the bell for round 7. And between rounds, George Chuvalo went up to give Clyde Gray some advice. Best advice he can give him is to try and stick and stay away. And again, Napoles was given the 6th round by all 3 officials. So he is well ahead in the official scoring on points. Gray now may have a cut over that right eye occasioned by Annapolis left, but let's take a closer look if we can during the course of the round. See that left of Napoles. This is a classic fighter. Beautiful looking fighter, that Napoles, isn't he, Muhammad?
Professional, and it's his professional instinct and experience that's now catching up with Gray in the red trunks.
Oh, cut right from Napoles. Did you see that, Muhammad?
Yes, I could feel that myself, Howard. But I think, Howard, as the rounds go on, we'll see Napoles picking up now. This is happening in a lot of my fights. I've had a lot of good fights at 2 rounds, but in the end, the experience catches up.
Gray now trying to exchange with him, which is a mistake.
That's bad for Gray, yes, because he's taking 2 minutes solid shots, and the champion's catching on to him.
We've got a minute to go in round 7.
We have a good fight out there, Howard, named Ernie Schaefer's, and I think me and him might get into something later.
Ernie Schaefer's who knocked out Jimmy Ellis in that quick knockout.
Howard, you seem to be slipping. I've seen days when you could announce a fight like this with no trouble at all.
Yes, an untied shoelace is being fixed now as Jay Edson, the referee, calls a temporary halt to the proceedings.
You're not the same announcer that you seem to used to be, Howard. I've seen times when you could handle a fight like this with no trouble, but you seem to be stumbling today. Are you slipping?
All right. Like you did against Norton. Don't start with me, Muhammad. You'll be in trouble. Gray again trying to engage in an exchange. And that quick left of Napoles stung Gray. Just 10 seconds left in the round. All right, we're back for the start of the 8th round. And that last round was given to Gray on 2 cards. 1 card scored the round even. In the official scoring, remember we told you about a new wrinkle here at Maple Leaf Gardens today. Identifying the fighters again, Napoles in the white, Gray in the red trunks. And they are posting the official scoring between every rounds on an electric scoreboard here. And the crowd likes it. Now, taking the totals and the scoring of all the rounds up to this point, Napoles has got 100 points. Gray has 92. And Gray is trying to mix it up with Napoles. He did in the last round, and that's his tactic this round, though. It's a dangerous tactic. This is the 8th round. We're a minute and 10 seconds into it. We're coming to you live from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, Canada. Last time we were here for a fight was in '66 when Ali decisioned George Chevalier. George threw so many low blows in that particular fight, Ali almost... There's George looking on in the lower right-hand corner. I thought Ali would get water on the knee that night. Minute 45 into round 8. The nosebleed hasn't troubled Gray at all. Gray is really trying to mix it up with him. Napoles to the right of your screen in the white trunks, Gray to the left in the red. And again, you see constantly this fight is being fought in and around ring center. Now gradually, Napoles being pushed back into the ropes. So he works on the midsection. 20 seconds left in the round. Good left there by Gray. I've seen worse fights than this. Good right by Napoles. We're coming into the end of the round, just 3 seconds left. Okay, the bell for the start of the 9th round. And Clyde Gray said if he could get past the 8th round, he felt that his youth and superior stamina would win for him. And indeed, the officials have just scored the last round, 2 of them in favor of Clyde Gray. And 1 of them called the round a draw. Muhammad, 2 rounds ago, you said you thought Napoles was now convincingly taking over. Instead, the youngster, in the opinion of the officials, has won the last 2 rounds.
Well, he probably did, but this can also hurt him because he had to put out a lot of energy to exalt himself, and possibly those 2 rounds will weaken him for the later ones, with which Napoles he should keep coming like a locomotive.
All right, that's Muhammad Ali. We've had 1 knockdown in the fight that was scored by Jose Napoles in what was his biggest round of the fight, the 5th round. Blood continues to be smattered around the nose of Clyde Gray, but is doing no damage to him, causing him no problems. Point about exertion that Muhammad made could be a good one, because the beauty of the way Napoles fights is that it is smooth, it is effortless. There is no wasted motion, no needless exertion. That's why they call him Mantequilla. Total points in the official scoring now on Napoles, 113. And Gray 107. We're a minute 45 into this, the 9th round. Gray with a right lead there that excited the crowd.
Oh, these 2 fellows look more like it's Harlem in New York than Canada and Mexico, don't they?
I guess you could say that. Actually, Napoles was born in Cuba.
All right.
And boy, they've got fighters down there, Muhammad. We saw them in the Olympics. They had by far the best Olympic team, the Cubans.
You got to give great credit, Howard. He's coming back for the late rounds.
He got in a quick left there.
Not beat such experience.
Giving him a good fight. As the countdown proceeds, as you saw in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. Napoles Gray got to him. You saw that. A good right by Gray. And Napoles was stung over in the corner. Gray is coming on and putting up a whale of a fight. We're coming to the end of the round, as you saw. Round 9. All right, we're going into round 10 and what has become a highly interesting fight. Napoles dominating in the early going, knocking Gray down in the 5th round. Gray, with his youth, coming back. And he's just been given the nod by 2 of the officials for the 9th round. 1 official called the round even. At the end of this round, if possible, we will allow our stations to get in their respective messages. But this fight has become extremely interesting because Gray is coming on. Napoles still the official point leader, but Gray not out of this fight. This is an interesting development. Remember, we're able to keep you abreast of the official scoring, and in total points, Napoles 127, Gray 121. Let's see if we can get a quick word from Angie Dundee in Napoles' corner. Angie, the youngster Gray seems to be coming on over the last
He's
3
making
rounds.
a great fight out of it. I thought he would. But the master will come forth. I think he's going to make a mistake here or there, and this kid will put him on his head again.
Okay, that was Angelo Dundee. Again, Gray getting the left in. This round is running down. There's been a slowing, perhaps, of the action. You've always got to remember that at 33, the bottom can go out from a fighter at any time. Napoles now trying to connect with the right more. We'll return with more of ABC's Wide World of Sports right after this message from our local station. Clyde, we're in round 11. It has just started, and Gray is coming on in this fight. And so that you're absolutely clear on the official scoring. By the way, Napoles was given the last round by all 3 of the officials. It depends on each official's scorecard. And as I read those official scorecards, Judge Guerra has Napoles ahead, Judge Canzano has Napoles ahead, and referee Edson has Napoles ahead. Points by which they're ahead on each scorecard are differing, but Napoles is closely ahead on all 3. A good left by Jose. They're in the 11th round. Live, Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, Canada. Napoles in the white trunks and Gray in the red. One knockdown in the fight scored by Napoles with a crunching right on the end of a left-right combination in the 5th round. Gray putting up perhaps a much better fight than had been anticipated. And Muhammad Ali sitting to my left, rested. Perhaps he'd rather be fighting Joe Frazier.
Well, Howard, I think me and Frazier have our day soon.
What's the basis for that statement? Is there something set?
Well, not quite, Howard, but we're working on it.
George Foreman told me in Houston 2 days ago he wants you for Christmas.
Well, he'll get me if everything works right. Don Dunphy, which is another greatest sports announcer, says he wants you.
We're both too old. Don and I are both too old. We're counting down in this round, the 11th. Seconds, 9. And coming up on the end of round 11. The bell for round 12. 2 officials scored the last round for Napoles. 1 scored it even. Napoles continues to lead on all 3 official scorecards. Napoles in the white trunks. Clyde Gray, the Commonwealth and Canadian welterweight champion in the red trunks. The crowd again exhorting Gray with its chants, "Go Clyde, go." That's what they'll be doing in college football next week on ABC, as it's a day for the Fighting Irish. Fighting Irish of Notre Dame against the team that has so often been a nemesis to them, the Boilermakers of Purdue. Then on ABC's Wide World of Sports, national teams from the United States and Ireland will be facing each other in a dual boxing match from Soldier Field in Chicago. We're a minute into the 12th round. Boilermakers of Purdue. Ever since Chris Schenkel went there, they've been trouble for Notre Dame. That left eye of Gray's is now in not good condition. Over the past 2 rounds, Napoles, who's been coming back off those middle rounds where Gray seemed to be coming back in the match, Napoles has scored enough to have half closed that eye. There is blood around it, and that eye may be a problem. Also, you'll see Gray now rubbing more and more at his left nostril. The accumulative damage of the fight could be taking its physical toll. As we get to a close shot of Gray's face, you'll see that left eye, perhaps. 2 minutes into this round, the 12th. Left is getting in to that eye. Napoles is left. Right lead to the midsection by Jose meant nothing. We're moving into the end now of round 12. The bell for round 13. There you got a quick shot of that left eye of Gray. 2 of the officials scored the last round for Napoles. 1 scored it even, and Napoles' lead increases. He seems to be safely in command now with just 2 rounds left, barring overwhelming round victories and knockdowns by Clyde Gray. It's a different kind of situation when you get the official scores after every round. This is the 13th round. 3 rounds to go. I think I said 2. It's 3. Little red spot. Little red welt next to Napoles' right eye. On the right side of it, just a welt, not a cut or anything. They did good work on Gray's eye in the corner that last round. Stopped the blood, and it appears to be 3/4 open. Even with 3 rounds to go, Gray will have to do an awful lot that's not presently foreseeable off what's happened thus far. Have a chance to win this fight. We've got 45 seconds left in round 13. Clyde Gray had marked the 8th round, as I said earlier, as the turning point. Apparently, it's not working out that way. Just seconds left in the 13th round. Oh, Napoles is trying to clean up on him there. We're coming to the end of the round. All right, the bell for round 14. And here are the official scores up through this point. Judge Guerra, 62 points for Napoles, 58 for Gray. Judge Canzano, 62 for Napoles, 56 for Gray. And the referee, 62 for Napoles, 58 for Gray. That vivifies the problems young Clyde Gray has. Unless he can virtually put away Napoles, which appears unlikely, he will be the loser. Judge for yourself whether or not you like to know the official scoring as a bout takes place. Maybe it takes some of the suspense out for you, maybe not. And then, of course, because boxing is such a subjective thing, you can decide for yourself whether or not you agree with the officials in your own scoring at home. Now Gray knows he has to come on. This is where he might get careless, Muhammad.
Well, he just got caught good, but I have a feeling, Howard, they won't knock Gray out. Gray's been hit with everything. And when the man's been hit with everything, as constantly as he's been hitting, it's a possibility he'll make the next 2 rounds.
How do you feel about showing the official score to the fans at the end of each round, Muhammad?
Well, I think it's pretty good, Howard. I know it's good for the people who are rooting for certain people because a lot of them won't have heart attacks and wonder who's going to win. They feel a little more comfortable.
The voice of Muhammad Ali. We're coming up to the 2-minute mark in the 14th round. A good right by Napoles. Another good right. And a left.
This is the professional coming out now, Howard, the experience. Although the fellow's 7 years younger, he just don't have the experience. Angelo Dundee, my trainer's now talking Spanish, but I don't understand it. But I imagine he's saying, keep going, you got him out. I like to say, Howard, I'm a fighter, and people don't realize how rough this is. These men have been fighting for a long time, and this is real tiresome. I hate to imagine how they feel right now.
Round coming down to its close. Round is just about over. We'll follow Clyde Gray to his corner. A good Napoles left snapped Gray's head back. Well, we're looking at Clyde Gray, and he's a tired young man. He's fought a game fight. I've just had word that the New York Mets won today 2-0 to increase their lead in the Eastern Division. And now more and more people are going to have to be wondering, can this be 1969 all over again? Because in a short series, even though the Mets play throughout the year has been generally mediocre, they've got the pitching to trouble Cincinnati in the playoffs, and they can trouble the American League winner in the playoffs, in the World Series, if they get there. Yes, Mom.
I'd like to say goodbye to you and the fans, Howard. I'm going to head on out towards the door. I have to be on the plane in 40 minutes, and if the crowd catches me, won't make it. So I'm glad we started this series off with a real good action-packed fight. I hope everybody's healthy.
Okay, see you, Muhammad. Don't get hurt. Don't get hurt. We're into action in round 15, the final round, and Napoles won the last round on all 3 scorecards. So unless Gray can knock him out, Gray is the loser in this fight by a unanimous decision. We're coming up to the 1-minute mark in the 15th and final round. Napoles leads by 5 points on 2 scorecards, by 7 on the third. You can bet Napoles won't get careless. Oh. Maybe that wasn't careless, but it wasn't smart. At the 1:45 mark in the round, well, there you see the countdown in the lower right-hand corner. Gray is fighting desperately now, and I've just had word that the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame beat Northwestern. That was not an air knockdown, that was a stumble. 44-0, Notre Dame over Northwestern, and they go against Purdue right here on ABC in our NCAA Game of the Week next Saturday. Northwestern had come off a win over Michigan State. Now the two are slugging it out. We're in the final minute. Watch your countdown. The fans in the arena are all excited, but they must know that unless Gray can knock Napoles out, it's over. And there's no way. The crowd got excited. That was a good right. Another good right, although it was on the shoulder. Now we've got the countdown. Game battle by Clyde Gray. Referee Edson pushing them apart. Napoles still swinging at the end of the fight. At 26 years of age, Clyde Gray doesn't have to be ashamed of his performance tonight. He's got a future in the welterweight ranks. The Commonwealth and Canadian champion. Let's get a quick comment from our Canadian host of Wide World of Sports, Johnny Esau.
Well, Howard, I've never seen a 15th round quite as desperate as this one. Gray knew he was behind on all 3 cards. He knew he had to go for the knockout. I didn't know that he would have that much left in the 15th, but he certainly did. He won in the early rounds in 7, 8, and 9, and he knew if he could get by 8, he felt he had a chance. He got by 8, but then Napoles took it away in 10, 11, and 12. The 14th, he started to come back. 15 was a great round for Gray and something we can all be very proud of.
All right, Johnny, what's your feeling about showing the official scoring on a round-by-round basis, as happened here today?
I think it's long overdue, Howard. I think it's the kind of a thing that puts complete trust in the whole thing. I think to Irv Ungerman's credit, he insisted that it be done today, and to Bob Arum and the group who felt that it was a good idea, put it all together, and I'm sure that the fans will love it. Some people may second-guess themselves for not knowing and the suspense, but knowing what the judges have done throughout the fight is a great step forward.
That's Johnny Esau, our Canadian host of ABC's Wide World of Sports. And I don't know why it's taking so long to announce the official result of the fight, since we've had the scoring all the way through. Angie Dundee just looked down and said, good fight. And it was a good fight. In the meantime, they're removing Gray's gloves.
I think this is a good omen.
Remember, travel arrangements have been through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines for over 26 years. The airline offering dream vacations to Hawaii. 4 points, Napoles the winner by on one scorecard. 6 points on another scorecard, and 4 points on still another scorecard. So unanimously, by these official scorecards before us, Jose Napoles is the winner, and still no official announcement. Jay, why no official announcement? I'm talking to Jay Edson, the referee.
They are counting the scorecards here in Canada. They make you do it round by round, then they total it up, the commissioners, and this sometimes can take 5 minutes. It isn't done consecutively round by round.
Okay, Jay Edson explaining the Canadian procedure and thus the delay in the official announcement.
I think this is another good omen, as I started to say earlier, because of the series of fights that will be held here in Maple Leaf Gardens over the next 10 months. And the judgment as to the response would be based upon this fight.
I'm beginning to wonder about this whole thing, though, Johnny. This is much too long to keep the fans waiting.
Well, I must say, no, I would say that Merv McKenzie.
And we're upset at holding up for whatever time the Reisner report. It'll be following immediately after this over most of these stations. Now Gray is holding up his hand. What is going on?
He's going to have the announcement now.
All right, let's have that official announcement, may we? Let's have it.
He said it was a unanimous decision. Not a unanimous.
Now we have a whole new problem. We've been handed a wrong official scorecard. The referee had the fight a draw. The other two judges had Napoles the winner. So they've fouled up the scorecard.
Ladies and gentlemen,
If two of them win it, then he wins it.
the winner and still welterweight champion of the world, Jose Napoles.
All right, Napoles, the official winner by two judges a draw. This has been an ABC Sports presentation.